Today I'm going to show you how to create an EC2 instance in your AWS console. And here you get a view like a dashboard view. Here you can see all the things that you have set up already, like the instances you're running, the load balancers you set up, etc. Now, the way you create an instance in EC2 is by using this launch instance block, and you go through the prompts. So first of all, it asks you, how many instances do you want? You may be asking yourself, well, why do I want more than one instance? That's usually when your application grows and cannot handle the load that your users are putting on a single instance. You will want to create more instances. So in the name, typically you would put the name of the application you're gonna run on this instance, but we're just gonna go with codevev demo. And then obviously you can add additional tags so you can later find them more easily. Now in the next section, you choose which image you want to use. And here you basically select an operating system. So for example, if you've set up your instance the way you like it, you can save the snapshot of that image and later create instances from that template without having to waste time redoing everything else for all the future instances. So here we are going with Amazon Linux, and we are going with this 2023 AMI that says free tier eligible. Then we select the architecture, which is basically x86 or ARM, and then we select an instance type. And here, the same deal, you can look at all of the myriad of options that AWS provides. Now, here in this section, we are selecting a key pair, or basically a login. That's how we will be allowed to connect to an EC2 instance. So we just click Create New Pair, and then you can choose the type of encryption, and then we just say codevev demo key pair. And then you choose the file format, and we are going to choose .pem here because we want to be able to SSH into it. Then we create a key pair, and then as you can see here, it downloaded to my computer. We go to the next section, which is network settings. So here you are provided with a bunch of things that you can edit if you wanted to. You may want to select a private IP address. You may want to not assign public IP at all. And then we will create a security group. So we are going to go with the same name pattern. So codevev demo. And then in the description, security group for codevev demo EC2 instance. So now we can select here how we are allowed to connect to it. So SSH works for us. And then here we can select from where you want to be able to connect to this instance. And by default, it looks like it's set to anywhere. So basically anybody on the internet would be able to connect to your EC2 instance given the right credentials. If you lose your credentials, then you're kind of screwed. So you can select my IP, and then only the computer you're on right now, or like I guess the network you're on right now, computers from that network will be able to connect to it, and the rest of the world won't. I'm gonna select this one. Looks like we're done with security groups, and now we can configure storage. So we can configure different volumes. So by default, every time you take down your instance, like take down completely, not just shut it down, but you want to delete it, then everything that's on the instance will be deleted upon termination of that instance. So if you want to avoid that, then you want to configure your EBS volume to not be deleted on termination. There are quite a few things here that need more explanation. And if you want to read more about what each one of these things means, then obviously click info and read up upon it. And then here you can select the file system. Just gonna go with default again. We can just look at the summary. We're creating one instance of Amazon Linux 2023 AMI image with t2.micro instance type with a new security group as a firewall, which will allow us to connect to this instance from the local IP address. And we got 8 gigabytes of storage, and we get it all for free. And then you can click launch instance. What's happening now is basically AWS is looking for an available instance type, and that is gonna try to set it up for you the way you want it configured. And it took literally just a few seconds, and your instance type is already running. And if you want to know how to connect to an EC2 instance or any other virtual machine from VS Code, then watch the next video.